Hi there. Is everybody doing okay? You can hear me? Okay, great. All right. We've got 60 minutes to learn to be a teacher, okay? But you're gonna learn it. All right. What I want to do is ask you to start thinking about a great teacher in your life. Can you think of somebody? Who's that great teacher that you had that you kind of keep in your head as the best teacher you ever had? Does everybody have somebody? Yeah. This was, I got to figure out where to stand. This was my great teacher, Mr. Keenan, and I was in 10th grade in high school in Denver, Colorado, and he was our English teacher, very enthusiastic about Shakespeare, very enthusiastic about everything. He's the one who pulled me aside for no reason and said, I think that you should start studying grammar. I think you would be good at it. And I'm like, what? Stop. I can, I didn't understand it at all, and it's actually what I ended up doing with my life. Anyway, he took us to the movies. He imitated Romeo and Juliet. He's the one who told us that Romeo and Juliet, we were 10th graders, we didn't know. He said that their marriage would not have lasted, that they would have gotten divorced. Oh, no, they wouldn't. Yes, they would. So he explained that Juliet would be sitting in a carriage in the sun and they'd start fighting, and we just couldn't picture it. This is our great teacher, okay? And I want you to keep your great teacher in mind as we go through this, okay? I keep forgetting where I am. Okay. Your big question today is, what do I do? Is that correct? Yeah, you're going to go into a classroom and you're going to teach English, and the big, scary question is, what do I do? All right? When I started teaching, okay, that's what I looked like a long time ago. It was about 35 years ago. I'm 58 now, so things have changed a little bit. When I started teaching, the night before I started teaching, I had a very, very big worry. What do you think I was worried about? Any ideas? I can't hear anybody. What? What do I say to my students? I wish it had been that intelligent, okay? My big worry was, should I stand or should I sit? Okay? I wasn't experienced enough to know that I need to worry about content, about how to teach. If I know what's going on, if I know what I'm doing, all I could think about was, will I stand or will I sit, which we discover is completely irrelevant, okay? But that's where I began, and I imagine that some of you can relate. Do you feel that level of kind of silly questions that you're not even sure of? If you're curious now, what position I use to teach. Would you like to see? That's how I teach now. I'm that good, okay? This is 30 years later, I am that good. All right, so you might be a little bit nervous. Is this true? Yeah, I have really, really good news for you. And today is going to be really, really good news. What do you think the good news is? You're not gonna see this one coming. This is gonna be a surprise. You have a teacher's book. Okay? All right. So when I started teaching, way back in that time when I had my arm up, the reason I had my arm up was because I wasn't shaving, and so we took a picture, but I didn't put that part. And I'm gonna go back to that. When I started teaching, I thought that a teacher's book contained only the answers. Okay? And since I was kind of smart, I thought, and I could figure it out, and I'm a native speaker, I didn't need the answer, so I didn't open the teacher's book because I'm a native speaker, and I was super metida and insuportável and all of that. I didn't look at the teacher's book when I was teaching, to the disadvantage of my students. Then I changed professions, and I became an editor of English language books. And then I began to see the effort and the money that publishers put into teachers' books. And then I became a teacher myself. I became an author of books myself, and I realized I don't want to write teachers' books. They're too complex, they're too difficult, there's too much that even I, as the author of the student's book, don't know how to put into a teacher's book. That is for a specialist. That's how much energy goes into this, okay? What's in it? Oh, by the way, I have worked for a lot of publishers, so I know what I'm talking about. Macmillan, Editora Brasil, Cambridge, Oxford, Richmond, CNA. I've written books for some of them. I've edited books for others of them. And I know that they're all very, very different. Some are international, some are Brazilian, some are for China only, some are for Taiwan only, and all of that. But there is one thing that they all want. What do they all want? To teach. I worked in a restaurant once and we had a meeting. I was about 17 and the manager of the meeting said, "What is our #1 goal in this restaurant?" And I raised my hand, I said, "To serve good food." And he goes, "No, no." He said, "We want to make money." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Okay, all of these publishers, they may not admit this, okay, but they want to make money, okay? How are they going to do that? They're going to do that by making you happy. They have to make the teachers happy. The students do not choose the book they're going to use. When was the last time you chose the book you were going to use in a classroom? You didn't. They have to make the teachers happy. How do they make the teachers happy? Okay, you need to feel secure. You need to feel strong. You need to feel confident. You need to feel supported. That's what's going to make you, the teacher, happy. So they're going to give you everything they can to make you happy so that what? So that you buy books, okay? And you ask your students to buy books. Let's just be honest, okay? So we get back to the question of what do I do? Okay? We've gone around in a circle and now we're back to what do I do? You use your teacher's book, okay? All right. It is like a map for how you're going to get from this point to this point, okay? It is, and they're very, very good. That's what a teacher's book is. It's your map for your class, okay? Sometimes, as we see driving around Sao Paulo, we go off of the map. Sometimes we get really lost. Not good. But if we stick to, but we can go off of the map and go over here and go get a sandwich over here and come back to the map. That's okay, okay? Just don't want to get lost. The book will keep you from getting lost, okay? The good news and the best news of all is that your teacher's book is interleaved. Do you know what that means? No. This is so cool. Okay, can I have one person come up here? You in the corner right there. Can you just come right up here? In the brown shirt. Right there, you. I'm looking at you. Him. Okay. You come up here. Go there. You come up here. I need you just to hold something for me. Okay. I have all my toys here. Okay, come here. What's your name? Nicholas? Everybody, round of applause for Nicholas. Yay, woohoo! All right. All right. Nicholas is holding, come over here, Nicholas. You're going to be famous. Okay, Nicholas is holding the teacher's book, okay? Open it all the way. Now, an interleaved teacher's book, I lost my other toy. Hang on. Is like this. The student's book is this page and this page. This is what your students see. But there's this thing in the middle. What is this thing in the middle? This is notes for you, okay? So when I'm teaching and I finish this page, I always tell my students, turn the page, because I am. And they're like, no, we don't have to turn the page. Okay, yeah, right, you don't. So what you have here is lesson A, when things go wrong. Are you having a bad week? That's what the students see. And you go, what do I do with that? You look over here, getting started. Set the scene. Say, these people are talking about something. It tells you everything. What to do. Say this. Look for this. Ask students to. Tell them to. Tell them to. Now ask them to form groups. Everything that you need, from how to warm them up, how to use the book, how to use just this one here, then this one here, this one here, this one here. It's all in there. Why? Because Cambridge University Press is smart, and they want you to feel confident, you to feel happy, you to feel prepared, and they know that an average teacher, including me, would look at this, if I didn't have this, would look at this and go, what do I do? What is the point? What are we doing here? This tells you what you're doing, okay? So then you go on, you finished this activity. You're a great model, thank you very much. We get down here, and we go, what do I do here now? Well, here you have the next part. It explains everything, bit by bit, what you need to do. Are you feeling better already? Yes, I know. Then you tell your students, turn the page. No, don't tell them that because they can't turn the page. You turn the page, now you're here. This is the grammar section. Grammar, I love grammar, okay? Thanks, Mr. Keenan. You have the grammar here, and then it tells you what to do with the grammar, okay? And then you go on, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? Listen, what does it say on the thing? I don't know what they're saying. It's written here, or it's written at the back of the book. And then they have to speak, and this is a pronunciation activity. What do I do? How do I do it? Where is it? How do I find the track? It's all here. It's all here, okay? It's all here. And what to do when you do find the track, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, I'm finished. We're done. Okay, that's all I have to tell you, honestly. That's really all. That is the entire message. Look at this when you're teaching, okay? All right. Nicholas, thank you very much. Woohoo! Okay, does everyone feel better? Ready to go teach? Yeah, no, okay. All right. So, when do you look at that? When do you look at that? It is not the morning of your class, okay? Saturday morning, you have class, they're gonna pick you up in 5 minutes, you gotta get downstairs, get to your car, whatever. Get on the bus, read on the bus, you do not look at your teacher's book. Well, you can, but when is the best time to do this? Maybe 1 week before you have class, okay? I am one that is big on telling you to do this, and then I don't. But don't do what I do what I say. So what you need to do is you know that you're going to teach next Saturday. You have this Saturday to very calmly open the book and look at what you're going to teach. You have this Saturday to get in contact with, sometimes we work in pairs. Find the other teacher who's working with you and find out what part they like. Did you look at it yet? Yes, I did. I looked at it. So, I would really love to do activity 3. I have some great ideas. Oh, okay. Well, I really like activity 1. Great. So you'll do 1. I'll do 2. Everybody splits up their class different. Okay, but this gives you time to be in touch with that person and coordinate what you're going to do. Okay? You do not do it the same day or even the day before. You're going to have an uncoordinated and clumsy class. Okay? Inside of your teacher's books, besides that beautiful interleaved part, okay, it's going to give you some good ideas. It's going to give you ideas. For example, can you see the little green dot? It tells you what is the purpose of this lesson. What are we doing here? Okay? What are we trying to teach? Sometimes, the way books are constructed these days, I lose focus of what we're doing, okay? It gives you warm-up activities. It gives you the audio material, or it tells you where to find the audio material. It gives you games. The teacher's book will give you extra reading. And it will also give you pair work activities, group work activities. This is what I thought it was. The answers. Where's my dot? My dot. Okay, well, anyway. It gives you the answers. Sometimes in some books you get songs. Those are always fun. It gives you online activities you can do, and it gives you tests at the very end. You don't have to write your own tests. I've done it. You don't want to, okay? You don't want to write your own tests. Teacher's book is way more than just what to do and answers. It gives you everything that you're going to need. Even in, for example, I use Touch Tone 2 to teach, because I teach some more advanced ones at CPM, and it gives you at the end like a unit summary. What's in the unit? So I make a copy of that and give it to the students when I can, whenever I'm teaching, and say, this probably is what's on the test. If they put it in the unit summary, that's what they think is important. And so you need to make sure you understand what's on here, okay? So it gives you all kinds of weird little extras, extra talking, extra activities, extra pronunciation, extra this, extra that, extra, It's wonderful, okay? Why? Because they want you to be happy. They want you to feel better tomorrow than you feel today about teaching, okay? Another source for help is CPM itself. They have notes sometimes in their files about what to do, what they expect. And if you have any questions, you just can't figure it out, you're really lost, you might contact the coordinator of your group, the owner of your group. You might contact the coordinator of the what's it called, unidade, where you are, okay? So you're going to use your book, and everybody's going to feel better. When you feel afraid, you're going to use your book, and you're going to feel better, okay? But there's one thing that we need to talk about. Your great teacher, remember your great teacher? Did your great teacher make you say, okay, turn to page 28, number 1. Listen and read. Okay. Would you please read number 1? Was that your great teacher? No, your great teacher took you to the movies. Your great teacher took you outside of the book. Even if you stay within the classroom, the great teacher took you outside of the book. So you need to follow the book because someone else is following you. So if you go outside of the book and you're lost, walking around, you're all having a great class and everybody's having a great time and you're learning English, but you don't follow what you were supposed to do that day, the next teacher comes along the next Saturday and has to do what you did plus what he was supposed to do. So you have to do what you have to do on that day, which is usually about 3 pages, at least what I'm doing here. Usually about 3 pages, 2 pages, depends. You have to do that, but as much as possible, you want to get outside of the book, okay? We are preparing our students for a lot of things. We are preparing them to go on to higher education, all right? To go to college, to learn more, to do better in their current school, even in high school, to take the test, okay? We are preparing students to be professionals, are we not? We are preparing students to travel. Do you know who this girl in the middle is? That's my daughter, Natalie, and we went to New York together when she was about 13, and then I told her, we're gonna take a picture of you with everybody on the Brooklyn Bridge. And so I put her there. Can we take a picture with you? You want us to take a picture of you? No, I want her with you. And so she's laughing. We took a picture with a bunch of crazy people. Anyway, we are preparing our students to be able to do any kind of weird travel like this, to have a good time, to travel, to be able to handle the Miami airport, you know, customs it's already scary, okay? And so you think, well, what am I going to do with that, okay? Here's the thing, and this is really important. Do we have any English teachers here? Any of the professionals? Yes, we have 1 back there, 2, 3, 4, 5, a couple over there. Okay, good. You guys are going to know what I'm talking about now, okay? You have a very, 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 very big thing at CPM that regular English teachers usually don't have, which is you have 3 hours to teach what normally we have to do in an hour and a half or 1 hour. You have 3 full hours. Okay, I never want to take a break. My students are like, well, it's 11 o'clock, we're going to take a break. I said, why? We're having fun, everything's great. No, we have to take a break. Like, okay, go take your break, come back in 10 minutes. No, we need 15. Okay, go, but come back in 15 minutes, okay? They want to take a break, I don't. Because 3 hours is so precious. 3 hours is so great. 3 hours is like pearls. 3 hours to you English teachers is like these kind of fancy transportation. 3 hours is like taking a nap this afternoon. It's really great, okay? 3 hours isn't a big thing, okay? English teachers out there, isn't 3 hours incredible? You know it is. We don't get 3 hours for anything. All right, 3 hours. So you will have time to talk to your students. How was your week? How are you doing? What's going on? Why are you crying? What's going on? You can talk about everything. You can tell them about your week. You can tell them about you. You can tell them about your dog. You can tell them about anything you want. You have time to play games, okay? In 3 hours, you have if you get them back from their stupid break fast enough, okay, in 3 hours you have time to do the listening activities, okay? You have time to ask them, and this is what's really hard, is to ask them to listen to each other, okay? You have time for presentations, for them to do presentations. You have time to check their homework. I hate it. Oh, I hate checking homework. Okay, well, I'm just going to confess, tell the truth. Who am I kidding? I hate checking homework. But there's no point in asking them to do it if you don't check it. There's different ways to do it. If you have a partner, make your partner do it. I don't know. Do it together as a group. I don't know. Whatever. There's lots of ways of doing that. I'm sure in the book will maybe tell you. Okay? You have time to do plays. Okay? To do drama moments. Okay? Never looked like this in my classes. Never. You have time to do music, look at songs, do all kinds of stuff like that. You also have time. So what it does is it tells you you're going to go from point A at the beginning of the class to point B. Us English teachers, we English teachers know that we have to go from point A to point B. We have 1 hour. We have 1 hour and 15 minutes, point A to point B. In 3 hours, this is what that looks like. Okay? And that's awesome. That is really, really good. As long as you remember, you can't just go and then end up off of the stage over here. You have to go from A to B. Okay, you got to go from A to B because the next teacher needs you to arrive at B. Okay? But you can take your time. You can do it in different ways. You can do some of the extra activities that the teacher's book suggests. As you get going, you're going to have some ideas of your own. You might have time to do some of your ideas. Talk about it with your partner, with your co-teacher. Now, all of this is really, really fun if you are planned and prepared. My own daughter became an English teacher. She teaches sometimes a little bit, and she said, it's really, really fun to teach when you're ready, when you're prepared. It is no fun when you're sitting on the bus on the way to your CPM place and you're not ready. You haven't talked to your partner, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't even know who the students are. That is not fun. It is fun when you are planned and prepared, okay? Which means get planned and prepared, okay? No one's paying you, and we English teachers know this too. We don't get paid for the planning time often, but we try to do it anyway. We're going to do just a little bit of teaching theory because it matters, okay? One of them in the teaching theory is called PPP. This is important. When I edit books or when I write books, I have to follow PPP. Publishers call it different things. They try to change it to, like, I don't know, fancy words, authenticate, blah, blah, blah. It's PPP. What is PPP? My English teacher friends know. Presentation, practice, production. That is the way we learn. For example, you want to learn to tie your shoes. You learn to tie your shoes. You learn to want to tie your shoes because you see other people in your family tying their shoes. I want to do that. I don't want my mother to do it anymore, okay? So you are being presented with the notion that your shoes need to be tied, okay? When you're learning to read, your mother presents reading. You see your mother reading. Your mother reads a book to you, okay? Doing exercise, that's me right there. You see someone else do something and you go, dang, I could do that. No, I couldn't do that. No. But you see it, right? You're presented with it, all right? Oh, come on. And then we have the presentation. That's the presentation. Then we have production. Oh, part of presentation, I'm sorry. When you're teaching vocabulary, one thing to do for presentation would be flashcards. Do any of you use flashcards? The books at CPM do not come with flashcards. I don't think we have any books with that. It's mostly for primary books for little kids that you get free flashcards. So, flashcards are really good. Where do you get flashcards if you don't have them? Well, you can buy them. That's if you are super rich. Anybody here super rich? Okay. 1,000 reais for a set of flashcards. No, thank you. You can adopt a book that has them. Okay? A lot of books have them, but usually it's for the kids. Even at Ensino Fundamental 2, sexto ano, they stop with the flashcards. You can make them. Okay, I used to do that a lot, where you have to get clip art and then get it the right size. And and then you have to print out 14 pages and all of that. And we cut it and paste it and make a flashcard. Or you can ask your students to make them. And this is what I do now. When I have students that need something with a picture. And I'll show you what you do. Well, first of all, a student of mine, Camila, made that. What is that? What is that? It's a lamp, right? That was a vocabulary word. She drew a lamp. That's a better lamp than I can draw, okay? What's that? It's a closet. He drew a wardrobe. He drew a wardrobe, which is just the thing, and then I said, it's embutido, Evandro. So he colored and he made it a closet, okay? All right? This is the one that I made. I'm very proud of this one. This was my flashcard for the group. What is that? You don't know? We had the word bed, okay? But they kept saying bad. Because it's bad. And now it's a bed. They couldn't hear the difference, so I made a bad bed. That is a very bad bed, right? Do we agree that's a bad bed? Yes, it is a bad bed. Okay, just so they can hear the difference, all right? You can understand. So what do? You just give them some cards, and I say, okay, you will draw the bed, you will draw the wardrobe, you will draw the lamp, you will draw I don't want to draw the lamp. Okay, then draw the bed, blah, 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 blah. You have 2 minutes, draw, go. I don't know how to draw. I don't care, just draw. Give it to her. Okay, whatever. But we have 2 minutes to get these flashcards done. You save yourself time, and then when you show them, they feel ownership of the cards. Okay, this works really well with beginning students when they have non-conceptual ideas, vocabulary like apple, dog, all of these things that you can draw. Information you can't draw so well. I can't anyway. So it's a really good idea to ask your students to do it and use the flashcards. That's part of a presentation if you want. I have advanced students, just to give you an idea, not advanced, upper intermediate advanced, level I, J, H at Pró-Mundo. I use flashcards too. We have really small groups for students. I make little cards about that big. And then when a word comes, we're talking about, how was your weekend? It was okay. What do you do? I am a advogada. Okay? If I say you're a lawyer, they will, oh yeah, I'm a lawyer. And then we continue talking. They forget. It's finished. It's over. They'll never learn it. So I write advogada on one side, lawyer on the other. And then after we have maybe 5 or 10 words, I start showing them the words. I show them first in English, lawyer, and they tell me Portuguese. And then we turn it, and then now they have to tell me the English. They see the Portuguese, and then they have to tell me in English. And we have at the end of class a little stack of about 20 or 30 cards. At least they're learning the vocabulary. A lot of people would say, oh, don't use Portuguese in the class. Sometimes I do at advanced level just for that, just to make these little cards. It helps. Okay, does that make sense? Flashcards really work, but if you have them, great. If you don't, you can have them anyway by making them, and they're fun to make, actually. Just take 2 minutes. So you need to let your teacher's book help you with the presentation. And they tell you, within here, they will tell you how to do the presentation part, okay? Now, practice. Anything that you have learned, you got to practice, 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 practice before you're good at it. Isn't that correct? Okay, so you might have grammar activities. Grammar activities are this is practice. You saw the grammar box, and now we're going to practice what we saw in the box. Correct? You've all seen that 400 times, right? Learning English? All right. Got to practice. Vocabulary activities in the book are practice. Okay? Let your teacher's book help you. They will tell you when and where to practice because the books are always in this order, no matter what they call it. Presentation, practice, and usually at the end of the class, now talk to your friend about your using everything you learned in the class. You're going to produce, the students will produce themselves what they need. Production is the last thing. You cannot just say, we're going to have a new grammar point that comes on page 2 of the lesson. You don't start with the grammar point. What are you going to do? I don't know what going to do means. You have to present it, practice it, and at the end of the class, they should be able to produce something with it, but you got to stick to the order, okay? And production can come with pair work activities. It can come with group discussions, okay? It can come with presentations. These are all ways of doing production on something that they have learned, okay? Reading and writing with their homework, okay? You let your teacher's book help you with that. And it's all in there, when to do the production. It tells you. The book will tell you, okay? That was one teaching point. The other teaching point, the other teaching thing we need to talk about are the 4 skills. Books will talk about the 4 skills, the cuatro habilidades, okay? What are the 4 skills in our classroom? What are we teaching the students to do? 4 things we're teaching them to do in every class. Reading. Let's do it there. Okay, so let's see. They are listening, speaking, reading, writing, okay? As a gringa in São Paulo, which of these is most important in my life? Speaking. Have you ever had the opportunity, that moment that when someone says, how old are you? And you say, I'm fine, thank you. Welcome to my life in Portuguese, okay? It's because you didn't listen. You couldn't understand what you heard, and so you give a sort of silly answer, okay? So the most important thing, the most important number 1 for our students is listening. You can't give us an intelligent answer if you don't understand the question, correct? In São Paulo, what I do, way more than anything else I do in Portuguese, is I listen. Okay, there's the Uber driver, there's a Rádio CBN, there's the TV on, there's my neighbors, there's my friends, there's all of these people speaking Portuguese. I can't speak Portuguese the way they can. You cannot probably speak English the way I can, but if you can understand me and I can understand you in Portuguese, we're right there, okay? That's what it's got to be. I've got to be able to listen and understand, and your students need to listen and understand. Number 2, what's important? Speaking. I ask you a question, you can answer. You say something intelligent, not how old are you, I'm fine, thank you, okay? You say how old you are, all right? So listening and speaking, reading and writing, what's more important? Reading. And then finally, I'm very unhappy when I have to write in Portuguese. I'm insecure. I don't know how to spell very well. I'm trying to, it always looks like the way I talk. I know that, okay? But it's the least important. It's what I do least. It's what your students probably, in most circumstances, need the least. They need listening from you, okay? So, let your teacher's book help you with that, okay? Now, just to give you an idea of what I mean, when you stick to the teacher's book, you will have a solid base for how to handle an activity like this, which is, in this lesson, we have a listening activity here. It starts with a to-do list. It's hard to see. And then you have a listening activity. In my French classes when I was in high school, this would be like this. You're going to read the part of Alicia, and you read the part of Rita, okay? And then my friends in the class would start reading in French and be like, oh, God, this is so terrible. Ah. And everybody would sleep. Okay, now you're Rita, and now you're Alicia. And we'd all go back to sleep. Okay, you had classes like this, didn't you? Okay, you didn't get anything from that. Nothing was learned in that process, okay? Because it's not really listening. So what do? You have this on a CD or online, and you download it or whatever. What I do is I would start this lesson by saying, because I really want them to listen, okay? I'd say, cover this part. Cover the listening. Look at the 2 women on the couch. What are they talking about? I don't know. What does it look like they're looking at? I don't know. Well, what is that? Oh, that's a picture of the Eiffel Tower. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I'm inventing now. It's a picture. She's holding a pamphlet with a picture of the Eiffel Tower. What do you think they're talking about? France. Possibly. What else are they talking about? She's French. Maybe. What else do you think they're talking about? Maybe they're talking about going to France. Maybe they're going to France. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's listen and see. And then I force them to cover this. Cover the listening, and just listen. Or close their books. It's better even close the book. Close the book. Listen. Okay? What were they talking about? Well, they did talk about France. Yes, they talked about France, and they talked about what city in France? They talked about Paris. Great. What else did they talk about? Something else. This is actually about Puerto Rico, okay? So they're talking about, okay, Puerto Rico. We'll go to Puerto Rico. So they're talking about a city in Puerto Rico. Are they from Puerto Rico? Or are they going to visit Puerto Rico? I don't know. I don't know. Let's listen again. Book closed. Let's listen again. It seems they're going to go, are they going to go to Puerto Rico? Yes. Why do you think that? Because they said, I'm going to go to Puerto Rico. Oh, good. You listened. You understood that. Good. Let's listen again. What are they going to do there? Tell me, listen for one thing that they are going to do in Puerto Rico. And we go at it. You don't have to listen to it 1 time, 2 times. You can listen to it 10 times. You got 3 hours, remember? Okay? You can and they need that. They need to hear it 10 times. There's things in Portuguese I need to hear 10 times, for God's sake, okay? You listen, and you listen to it again, and you give them another task. Okay, now you listen to it. And the book also gives you things to listen to. Look at Hita's to-do list for her upcoming trip. What other things do they need to do before the trip? Make a list. So here we know what she has to do before her trip. The book tells you how to do some of these things. You don't have to invent this, okay? And then B, listen. What is Rita going to do on her trip? Okay? Listen, and then we're going to do exactly what I said. Listen for one thing. Don't listen to the whole thing and understand every word. I never understand every word in Portuguese. You probably didn't understand every word I said today. It's not important. Listen for the key things, okay? And then practice the conversation. The book will tell you, okay, how to do these things. How many of these have you seen? Grammar box. By the way, are there any web designers here? Okay, I did this myself. So if you need any assistance with this kind of web designing, yes, I know. It's my grammar corner. I invented that. The grammar corner, and I am American. This would be a grammar box. You've seen 400 of these in your life, right? I am American. You are Brazilian. He is Iranian. She is French. It is South African. We are Greek. They're Saudi Arabian. Okay, that's a presentation. We've probably been presented to the grammar in something before this. We usually don't start a lesson with grammar. They probably listened to something, saw something. Now we're going to see it in grammar form, okay? What comes after this? Practice, right? How many of these have you seen? Fill in the blanks with am, is, or are. In my French classes, it'd be like this. Example, this is my mother. She is Italian. Number 1, you. Okay, and the rest of the class. What the smart kids did was they go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You, I do that. I do number 5. Learn number 5. Learn number 5. Pay attention. What's number 5? What's number 5? What's number 5? I'm not listening to anything that's happening. I don't care what my friends said in 1, 2, 3, 4. I am listening to number 5. I'm getting ready for number 5 so I look good. Don't look stupid. Got to look good. All right? I'm not learning anything. So everybody gets their pencils and they fill this in, okay? You'd say, well, this is a writing activity. We need to make this not a writing activity. This is their one opportunity, 1 time a week to listen to English, to hear English, to speak English. We have to give them that opportunity. How are we going to do that? What we do is, I tell them, and this drives them crazy, I say, put your pencils down. What? Put your pencils down. What do you mean? Put your pencils down. And then you have to go and put your pencils down, put your pencils down, put your pencils down, put it down. I'm kind of not nice, okay? Put your pencil down. They all have their pencils down. Now they're looking. And then you say, number 1, everybody read number 1 to themselves quietly. Decide on what your answer is. Ready? Okay. And then I randomly, so we don't have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thing, I choose somebody, you. What is the answer? And she goes, with her pencil down, nobody wrote in the book, I am Nigerian. And I don't show on my face if I'm happy or not. And I say, okay, does everybody agree? I am Nigerian. Does everybody agree? And they're all looking. Do you agree or you don't agree? We agree, yeah, that's right. Okay, why did you say I am Nigerian? Why? Yeah, why? Well, because in the box up there it says I am American, so it has to be I am Nigerian. Yes, yes! And I get all happy, yay! Okay, number 2, everybody look at number 2. What do you think the correct answer is? Diana and Ava, I don't know. Let's just think about it. You, over there. What do you think it is? Well, Diana and Ava is Canadian. Okay? Does everyone agree? Some do, some don't. There's a little of this going on. And you say, okay, why did you say is? Because it's Diana. Diana's a she. So she is. And who doesn't agree? I don't agree. Okay, why? Well, because it's two people, Diana and Ava. So that would be they. So it has to be are. So do you all agree that that would be a better analysis? Yes. Okay, so what's the correct answer? Go back to the original person. Diana and Ava are Canadian. Yay! Everyone's happy. I do not let them write. At that point, everybody wants to pick up their pencil. They're desperate, particularly the teenagers, to get it finished. And I say, you're going to do this. This is your homework, okay? We're listening and we're speaking now, and they can go home and do this reading and writing, the boring part. This is the boring part, reading and writing. They have to think again, try to remember what we talked about in class, and do it again. So even activities that look like pure reading and writing in the classroom, which would be this, actually, you can go through it together as teachers, as a teacher and student, and make it into listening and speaking activity. The book will not tell you to do that, but this is what we do, okay? Does that make sense? Yeah, that's like sort of a little bit more advanced, but I think you guys can handle that. All right. How can this be more engaging? This is the kind that I have in my book. Complete the anecdotes with the past continuous or simple past. Same thing. Look at number 1. Everybody, put your pencils down. Think about the answer. You give them more time on something like this, and then will you read it? And they read it. Does everybody agree? And then you have a discussion of why. Why is it good? Why is it bad? Why is it correct? Why is it incorrect? Until you work together, pencils down, to figure it out. And then they go home and do it for homework also. Okay? Does that make sense? Otherwise, if you do it this way, like everybody write, now read it. Everybody's sleeping. You know they are. Okay? So it's better to try to keep them more engaged and keep them with the listening and speaking if you can. Okay? Most of all, you need to have fun when you're teaching, okay? You can make it fun just by being yourself, being happy, being glad to be there, being glad that they are there. There's another way of making it fun, which is you can play games also, okay? I take sometimes different games that we have in my family because we play games in my family. And in my family, no game is good unless it ends with somebody crying, okay? That's how we are in our family. If somebody has to cry, okay, good game, all right. Apples to apples. I have a lot of games because I'm American and I have American kids, all that. Sorry, Monopoly, Pandemic, where you have to beat the board. Everybody works together. That's kind of good, but I can never remember the rules, so we don't play it. I wish. A game that I play a lot is called Around the World. So when you do make flashcards, what do you do with the flashcards? You could play Around the World. You present the flashcard. You let them practice the flashcard, you learn the vocabulary, and then you have your vocabulary on flashcards like this. You play around the world. How do you play around the world? We'll do it here. How can we do it here? We'll go way over here. We're going to do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you stand here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, quickly, 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 come on. Or you can come up here, 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 come up here. Now we need one more person. Come. All right. This is Around the World. My students love this game. They could play this all day. You have taught vocabulary. Now we want to practice it and have some fun with it. I know you. I do know you. Yes, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what's your name? You were my student, weren't you? My student. She's here. Okay, here we go. Come over here. You're going to go behind her, okay? So imagine they're sitting in their chairs, and you have one person behind and everybody sitting here around the classroom, okay? Now, since we are English teachers and this is going to be easy, I made the flashcards math, okay? All right, hang on. Put this down. Like this. I'm going to show you two this card. You three have to wait. Okay? The person who says it first will travel to to the next place around the world, okay? Okay, ready? Okay, we'll do another one. Oh, these are hard. Okay, we'll try this one. 20, good. So she got it right. You come here, you go there. You go there. She's traveling. Now you two are going to compete. You ready? Come on.
4 and 20.
Yeah, you know. Okay, all right, this one.
They're shy because they don't have the microphone. Now they're going to talk.
Okay. Who knows the answer? I don't know the answer. 8, you got it, good. You go behind her. All right, ready? You two are going to compete. Oh, that's that hard one. Okay.
36.
36, you go behind him. She's traveling. Everybody's losing. Okay, ready?
360.
Yes, okay, you come down here. Now we start over. Now you two. Ready?
36.
36. She's a math genius. Here we go.
14.
14. Come on. We can't let her win everything.
90.
90, she got it. Now you go here. Okay. There's that hard
5.
one. 5, good. Come on. Here we go.
20.
20. Here we go. Come on.
Come on, go. 150.
150, good. Next one.
8.
8, you got it. It was close, but you got it. Okay, do you see how it is? My students have played this forever, okay? All right, thank you very much. Woo-hoo! I have all my toys here. Hang on. Okay, that's around the world, and I play that even with my silly little Portuguese English cards, okay? The reason that games are good is because you guys were much less worried about standing in front of a big group of people and, oh, my English, maybe my English isn't good enough. They were competing, and they were not worried about English. They were thinking about something else, okay? So their English, if it was good or bad, it doesn't matter, okay? They were competing, and that's what we want to do. We want to take them outside of the book, outside of their fear of English, or trauma de inglês, all of that, blah, 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 okay? And get them to actually just use the stupid language. Let's go, okay? All right. Another game that we play is 20 questions. Do you know 20 questions? Basically, I'm going to think of somebody famous. You have 20 questions. I can say yes or no. You have 20 questions to discover who the person is, okay? I have a rule that I invented that if you say, Neymar, and you guess the name and it's not right, you lose 2 points, okay? So you have to ask me questions to discover who I'm thinking about, okay? Okay? Ready? I have a person in my head. Go. Anybody? Am I alive? It's good. We're going to talk about him or her. Is she alive or is he alive? Okay, go. Yes. It's a she or she? Oh, no, am I a he or she? That's the question? I can only say yes or no. Am I a he? No. So I'm an alive woman. You can sometimes get a note taker to come and take notes. Alive woman. Okay, it's good practice. Next one. Am I an actress? No. Am I Brazilian? No. Yes, I am famous. Am I American? No. Am I a musician? No. Am I did we ask actress already? Okay, so. Am I a real person? Yes. I'm not a musician. Does that mean, is that different from singer? Okay. Am I in showbiz? No. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm not now. Sort of in showbiz. No, I wasn't in showbiz, not showbiz. No. Excuse me, next. Am I old? What's old? Am I up to, for my students, be like, are you over 20? Are you old? Okay, but over 40. Am I a politician? No. No, I'm not a television personality. Am I a what? Athlete? No. Am I a teacher? No. Am I a businesswoman? No. Am I a writer? No, it's 15. I'm gonna win. Woo! Am I what? Journalist? No. Am I a princess? No. I think I am, but I'm not. All right? What else you got? Huh? Do I engage with people in my daily routine? I'll give you more information. I think I probably don't want to, but I do. 2 more, and then you have to say a name. Am I royalty? No. I am white. Say a name. I'm going to win. Okay, you give up? Yes! Melania Trump! Ooh. We should not say that name in this room. No Trumps here. I'm not a Trump fan, I'm sorry. Okay. The beauty of this game, there's 2 beauties of this game. Number 1, Brazilian students struggle to ask questions in English. They tend to go, she is an actress. Is that a question? That's what you do in Portuguese, right? So so you have to say, ask a question. Is she an actress? Okay. She interacts with the public. Is that a question? Does she? And then they have to fight to form a question. Number 1, that's what's good about this game. Second thing good about this game is that you guys, when you were asking a question, were not worried about your English, were you? I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to use the wrong English. You were competing, trying to get it, and not worried about your English. Again, games take students out of their fearful reality and into competing into a different headspace, okay? Here's another good game that I play sometimes with my students. Grandma is a strange one, okay? You know this game a little bit. My grandmother likes this. She doesn't like this. Okay? So, for example, does she like, this forces students at a certain point when they're grammatically prepared to ask, does she like? So I'll give you an example. She likes baseball, she doesn't like soccer. Now you want to find out what my grandma likes. Do you have a question? Does she like, I know that she likes baseball, she doesn't like soccer. Does she like cake? No. I'll give you another clue, okay? My grandmother doesn't like strawberries, but she likes bananas. Does she like baking? A lot. She likes baking. She doesn't like washing the dishes. Someone got it. Anybody else? Huh? Peanut butter? No, she doesn't like peanut butter. You need another clue? She likes bread, but she doesn't like sandwiches. Does she like bingo? She loves bingo. Does she like dance? No. She only likes what? B letters. Well, let's test it. Test it. She likes breakfast. She likes balls. Any others? Do you think that his theory is correct? She likes things that begin with the letter B? That's correct. Very good. That was pretty fast. Okay. She likes baseball. She doesn't like soccer. She likes, maybe, you could do a category, things with 2 legs. She likes chickens. She doesn't like dogs. She likes humans. She doesn't like cows. Okay? They have to think, what is the connection? She likes things with 3 syllables, that's really hard. She likes things at McDonald's. She likes hamburgers but not hot dogs. She likes 4-letter words, okay? She likes things that are red. There's lots of categories you can invent. If you were doing the does she like, does she like, does she like, this is good grammar. Another one we have, maybe she's not born yet. So you could say, I'm going to have a baby. Yes, I'm going to have a baby, crazy, yes. And will she like, if you're going to practice that kind of grammar, will your baby like this? Will your baby like that? Okay? You can change the rules. Maybe she died. Did she like? Did she like, did she like, did she like? They're going to ask, maybe she's not here right now. If she were here right now, would she like? Okay? You can really mess them up with this, okay? The final game we're going to look at, we're almost finished, is Coffee Pot. Have you played Coffee Pot? Coffee Pot is a game where I think of a verb, and you have to use Coffee Pot to discover what verb I'm thinking of. Let me think of a verb. Okay, go. Ask me a question. Do you like to coffee pot? And then I'll say yes or no. I can only say yes or no usually. Have you coffee potted today? Are you going to coffee pot tomorrow? Do you coffee pot every week? How often do you coffee pot? Okay? Do I coffee pot? Wait, I have to change my verb. That was not a good verb. Yes, I coffee pot at home, but not exclusively at home. Only about 1 hour every day. Do I coffee pot alone? No, I coffee pot with my husband. Don't. Dirty minds. What else you got? Huh? Does coffee potting make me sweat? No. No. Well, anything makes me sweat right now, but yeah, no. How fast do I coffee pot? You can't measure coffee potting by speed, okay? You don't do it fast or slow. You just do it or you don't do it. Where do I coffee pot? In my living room. I should only say yes or no, but that's okay. Anyway. No, you can't. I can't. That's too much information. You have to give me a yes/no question. Do I need electricity to coffee pot? Yeah. Ooh, good question. I don't know. Is coffee potting watching television? Yeah. You can't do it fast. I'm gonna watch TV fast. No. Okay. So this is again, we're not thinking about how much we have trauma de inglês. We're trying to compete, trying to figure it out. We're thinking in English. We're trying to form the correct question. This is for much more advanced students who can manipulate verbs a little bit better. Okay? All right. So with that, are we clear about what do I do? Do you feel better? Yeah. All right. You're going to use your teacher's book, remember? And you are going to do it in advance with plenty of time to be calm and prepared. You are going to have a lot of fun while you're doing this, and this is true, okay? And I have another slide if we go there. You are going to learn to love your students, and they're going to learn to love you. And we are finished. Thank you very much.